Welcome back. Now, after that opening session, the NEC went behind closed doors for about 3 hours. On Friday, the 16th of May, the president of the bar, flanked by some of his excos, read the communique from the closed-door session. Of utmost importance to us were the issues concerning the development of the legal profession.
The NEC voted as worrisome and debatable that some justice sector-related bills which provide for crimes in respect of extreme violence in Nigeria, including the administration of criminal justice bill, violence against persons bills, legal practitioners act amendment bill, etc., are still pending in the National Assembly for years without being passed into law. The National Assembly should pay more attention to the business of lawmaking, particularly with the life of the 7th Assembly coming to an end, and many bills are bogged down the process of being passed into law, and will all lapse at the end of this 7th Assembly. The NEC therefore called upon both chambers of the National Assembly to expedite action in passing the pending justice sector bills and other important bills into law, as it is not enough for members of the National Assembly to issue statements condemning acts of terrorism and violence and visiting victims in the hospitals, and that they would have helped fight the scourge of terrorism and walked the talk if they had passed these all important bills into law when they should have done so. Legal practitioners since were officially unveiled and presented to the President and some leaders of the plan, thereby bringing the policy into existence. Members of the NEC all over the country are encouraged to apply to the Secretariat for the stamps and seals, as very soon no legal practitioner can practice in Nigeria when that policy fully takes off without the stamp and seal. With regards to the 2014 NBA National Officers elections, the NEC not only approved 14th and 15th of July 2014 as the days for elections, but also lifted the ban on campaigns and decided that Abuja would be the host city for this epoch event. NEC also approved the wearing as venue for its 2014 annual general conference scheduled to hold on the 24th to 29th of August 2015 with the theme Nigeria 100 years after.
With the NEC fixing the elections for the 14th and 15th of July, the candidates for the various positions have barely 2 months for their public campaigns. Law Weekly caught up with 3 of the presidential candidates. I simply asked them why they were the best man or woman for the job.
At a time like this, the Nigerian Bar Association needs to develop and evolve into the new ideas that are now available. The association needs to go through changes, fundamental changes. We need to refocus on the welfare of our members. We need to ensure that lawyers are happy to be lawyers, they are proud to be lawyers. We need to go back to the days when lawyers are happy to be called barrister, chief doctor, so and so. Not nowadays you see lawyers, they will tell you that they are chief doctor, sir, barrister. The barrister is going further in because they're no longer happy. The association is not doing much for them. And there's so much we can do for our members. And I believe that we have to focus essentially on our members' welfare. When our members are well taken care of, they owe a lot to the association, then they'll be able to contribute their own quota to the development of the association, and with that to the development of the country. We also need to reform some of our organizations and our setup in NBA. We need to make our branches a part of the policy implementation and evolution. You don't just take policies and give to the branches to implement. You let them be involved in developing the policy and implementing the policy. That way we take care of the problem we have currently in the NBA, where each administration comes with new policies, new ideas, and after 2 years we start afresh again. But if the branches are keyed in from the onset, then even if you take out the national executive, you still have 109 branch chairmen who helped in developing that policy, who have helped in implementation, and who will see it through to the end. There are several other things we need to do for our branches. We need to make our branches financially viable. I propose, for example, to call for a constitutional amendment that the share of our branches of our practicing fees should be increased from 10% to 20%. I also believe that this money can be paid by direct debit to the branches. This may look very, very mundane to somebody else, but if you understand that in the NBA in 2014, branches are still asking for their 10% of 2011, you understand the enormity of the problem. On the other side, we're in the digital age. NBA has to get into the digital age. We have a website now. NBA needs to be involved in Facebook, Twitter, and get everything that we're doing. We have to be involved. We cannot still lock ourselves up in the analog age and say we're a leading association in the country. There are things we have to do to put our association in the correct place. By the grace of God, lucky, fortunate to have been appointed chairman of the database committee, and by the grace of God today, we have a functional database for the NBA. On that basis, we yesterday launched the NBA seal. If we do not have a database where every lawyer had an enrollment number, going forward to do a seal will have been a waste of time. But I assure you also, and I assure my noble colleagues, that apart from the seal, I will also introduce the stamp, which will be a security featured stamp. So when you put your seal, you also have a stamp, which will be tied to your seal. We'll know who we are giving which serial number. The way your bank gives you a checkbook and they will know the serial number given to you. Each lawyer will have a set of stamps given to him. And what this will do to help us push quacks out of our business, to help us push all of those who do legal documentation that is reserved for lawyers to take out of our business. So apart from sanitizing our association, we are also taking care of the welfare of our members, because as we are able to push quacks out of our business, we are providing more work for the lawyers. These are the critical things I hope to look into. And finally, reinvigorate the NBA as the voice of the people, defender of human rights, and promoter of the rule of law.
Let me start by saying that if you don't have a different way of doing it, you have no business getting involved. I'm involved because there is a new and different way of making the Nigerian Bar Association relevant. First, to its members, second, to the legal profession itself, and third, to the nation at large. I represent that agent of change. I have governed the NBA before at national level. Unless you have something you are gaining in any organization, you have no business being a part of it. The Nigerian lawyers have not been deriving maximum benefit for their membership. I'm going to visit that. I'm going to change the corporate governance of Nigerian Bar Association. There's going to be total democratization. There is going to be a total connection between the leadership and the followership. The young and junior members of the bar today virtually have lost hope, confidence in themselves. The confidence is no longer there. Some are asking, am I really in the right profession? There is a need to rekindle their hopes through practical and pragmatic programs that will give them the comfort that after all is not lost. Very well, we have what we call the Young Lawyers Platform, a forum. I'm going to use that forum to translate capacity building to economic empowerment. Your capacity is useless if there is no patronage. To bring to bear your skill, to apply to solve specific problems that will put money in your pocket. It is a stain on the profession to see majority of our colleagues roaming about the street. I don't believe that we have overproduced lawyers in Nigeria. We haven't. After all, this is a nation of about 170 million people. We are just in the region of 100,000. So it is because there has been no conscious effort to look at how we can expand the frontiers of legal practice in Nigeria that has led into unemployment market of the lawyers. We are going to mount a sustained campaign against impunity, sustained campaign against corruption, sustained campaign for effective maintenance of law and order in this country. We are going to ensure that the institutions are made to work. Going by my discussion with so many colleagues, there is that implicit confidence in me that I can bring about a change in the way things have been run in the recent times. that I can bring about a change to ensure that there is greater benefit for participation.
The 2014 MBA elections is an opportunity for delegates to take their future into their own hands. I think it is time that we raise the bar. The Bar Association is dying, and this is an opportunity to give it new life. We have to focus on the needs of the younger members of the profession by providing continuing legal education using IT platforms, because that's cheaper and it's more accessible to lawyers all over the country, especially those in the hinterland who may find it extremely expensive or difficult to come to the centers in the urban areas where these programs are normally held. We as an association also have to fight to strengthen the economic opportunities available to ourselves as lawyers. We must stop encroachment in the profession. Other associations protect the interests of their members. The Bar Association is not doing that. The July elections are an opportunity to elect a candidate, that's myself, who is looking at using the association to provide economic opportunity for all lawyers. We can only do it if we build the association together. We have to change the way things are being done. We must, if we speak of inclusion, we must have actual inclusion. So the issue of closed-door meetings must be a thing of the past. Whether they are NEC meetings or they're committee meetings, we must ensure that our members from all over the country have an equal opportunity to have their voice heard and to have their interests represented at the center. The National Executive Committee of our National Association must represent all shades of opinion, all lawyers from all the parts of the country. Our representatives to committees and to federal appointments must also be the same. We must move away from a situation where the Bar Association is seen to be in the hands of a particular part of the profession or a particular section of the country. Everybody must be included. That's why I'm running this election. I want a unified bar, a dignified bar, a bar that actually is going to work for the interests of all lawyers everywhere, so that once again we can raise the bar to new standards. That's my motto. That's my dream.
In the days ahead, we'll get to hear a lot more about these candidates and some others who are contesting various offices. I'll have lawyers share their opinions on what kind of leadership the bar needs at this time. We'll also hear more about the electoral guidelines. If you have opinions on any of these issues, please get in touch via email, Facebook, or Twitter. Watch this program and past episodes on our YouTube page. I'll be back next week. Thank you for watching.